What we're doing here, if you'll, I don't have anything to hold this phone, so I just gotta kind of put it wherever I can. What I'm doing is paper patching bullets. Now, I went around and discovered what size papers, what types of paper you need. And you need a paper that is a high cotton linen content. I made some attempts without that. Just use a notebook paper, and what happens is that the tail just tears off. So that's unsuccessful. So you gotta calculate how long the paper you want it to be. So I calculated on this bullet. This bullet came out as 0.453 in diameter. This is actually a bullet intended for the 45 Colt 454 Cazul or something like that. But I want to shoot it in a 45-70. So in a 45-70, standard bore size is 0.458. So we need to make this. We need to make up the difference on this. And what I'm doing is I'm paper patching, and discovering the paper, I find out that a lot of Bibles are made with Scretta paper. The Scretta paper is composed of no wood fiber and cotton and linen, and is very thin. The measurement on the Scretta paper is 0.0013. So what I did was I took 0.453, calculated it times pi, which gave me the distance of one rap. 0.0026 in order to get out to where I need it to be, which will be, it's going to come out to like 4.63. I need 3 wraps. So I calculated one circumference, the diameter, the circumference of one diameter, the circumference of that diameter plus 0.0026, and then the circumference of that diameter times 0.0026. Adding them all together, I came up with a total length of 4.29. Okay, I've divided this paper already. I put lines on it every 1.5 inches, which divides this paper into 3 pieces. So what I do, like I said, I have refined this. I got to get an X-Acto knife to cut these a little more carefully. I probably should have been set up for this video a little bit better than I am. I take a triangle. As soon as I find out what I do with my triangle. Hang on a second. I take a triangle and I cut this on an angle. Let me come right back to this. Okay, we're back. You get this positioned again. My triangle was sitting on top of a black book, and being clear, I overlooked it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take our calipers. I don't know what's wrong with me today. There we go. And take my calipers, and I'm going to set them at 4.29. It's right there. Okay. I'm going to mark it. When you're doing something like this, you're going to favor the line because there's the thickness of the pencil lead. Not that I expect it to be all that critical, but it comes up a smidge short. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. Now, you guys on Cast Bullets is where I'm going to post this here. You're probably going to see me screw up like 50 times on this, okay? So, like I said, this is a new thing for me. Never done this before. Never fired them before. So we're going to come in here. I'm going to use a 60-degree angle on this. And I'm using this sheep's foot blade on my pocket knife. I need to get an X-Acto knife. I have an X-Acto knife, but it's dull and needs a new blade. So I'm just going to come in here and use a sheep's foot blade here. Take that off. Oh, come on, give me some love. There you go. I'm going to come up to my 4.29 dimension here and do the same thing. It's on an angle here. Since they're on the same angle, they'll all be identical. Okay. And come down like that. And then I have my lengthwise, and I will get 3 papers out of that. This is not an exacting one here, as you can see why in a little bit. There's that. That buck knife sheep's foot blade's pretty sharp, actually. But an X-Acto knife would be better. Something with a razor on it. Okay. These are 1.5 inches. They turn out to 1.5 inches long, divide that paper into thirds. There's a little tab there I'm not going to worry too much about. And then there's a little bit excess there that's not going to hurt anything. So I have this piece here. Okay, now, what I'm going to do, I don't want to get my wood wet. I'm going to take my fingers. And you guys are probably going to tell me, you're rolling the wrong direction. You can do it a little easier this way or that way. And I'm going to try all that because, you know, this is a new thing for me. And, okay. Now there's that. It's damp. It's not super wet, but it's damp. Okay, now we're going to take my bullet that I just set aside here and don't know where it's at. There it is. I'm going to lay it right there. Pick up this tab. Pick up this tab. Come on. Come on, tab. Put it over here like this. Stick off the side just a little bit. So I'm going to pick up my tab. I'm going to wrap it around the bullet like this. You know, as I do this more and more, my fingers will get more adept at it. And I'm just going to roll that bullet up in there. I'm kind of keeping a little bit of pressure on it to keep it snug as I roll it. The thing about it, I tried notebook paper here and it just would tear all the piss because there's no cotton fibers in it. So, and where it would really be bad is when I got to the point that I'm coming at right now, which I'm going to come in here and twist the tail. And twist it down tight. Hold it there for a second. And then I probably don't need to do this part. I add a little more water on it. Just dab a little water on it. Make sure it's all sealed down good. Alright, now. And I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to let that dry. Now, you see it's got that tab on the end of it. What I do after it's dried is I come in here and I take this and I snip that tab off. These are toenail cutters, by the way. I'll snip that tab off. Okay, so now I got that right there. And what I will do is I'll take this. This is Hornady case lube. It's actually a paste type lube. Okay, and I'll wrap a little around there, and then I will run it through come on. I will run it through this Lee sizing die. Now here's the thing. This is a 457 Lee sizing die, which is too small, actually. I haven't opened this up yet. I can burnish this out and open it up, and I would open it up to like 0.460, so 3/10. New thing for me. I just got this. I haven't got time to do that. But what we're doing right now is just doing a proof of concept type thing. You know, let me see if I can make it work. So, I got my bullet formed. Now I'm going to go set up and get the cartridge ready for it. Now the load we're going to do is, since I don't want to play around with no reduced loads with this and everything like that, 64 grains is supposed to be a compression load. It's the max load for the Marlin for a 300 grain jacketed bullet. I don't want to go to 64 grain. I don't want to go to a compression load under this. So I have to figure out how many grains to just contact the bottom of the bullet. Now with the Marlin 1895 rifle, the maximum cartridge overall length is 2.55 is a very safe length for it as far as being able to cycle. I discovered that. I set it up. I discovered that. You notice that this bullet has two crimp grooves in it. When I'm in the rear crimp groove, I'm like 2.48. That's fine. So we're going to use that rear crimp groove as a reference point. Now let me get this set up, and I'll come back here in a few minutes once I get the cartridges all set up, and show you about the loading procedure. All right, real quick back here. What you can see is I've, if you can see that, I flared that pretty good. And the reason I flared that pretty good is because I don't want it to cut the paper when the bullet goes in. See, I want it to go in there clean. When I put it in the sizer, I'll make very clear that I'll be very sure that it's in there straight. All right, back at you. Okay, now I've charged the case. Now, according to the book, the max on the 300 grain bullet was 64 grains under compression load. Well, 64 grains just so happens to bring that powder nearly to the top, which I could compress, but I don't want to compress this load in this bullet. I want it filled, but I don't want it compressed. And that turned out to be 54 grains, a full 10 grains less, which takes me down into the trapdoor level loads. That's okay. That's still going to be around 2,000 feet per second, I would imagine. And it's just experimental. So, you know, I may step over and use H322 on it, which is a little more intense powder. Or I may go to H335. Spiracles in this kind of case don't have a real high success rate. So, all right, let's get on to this and we'll do the crimping on it. All right, now I got them seated and I got a modest crimp on them. What I'm going to do now is that there's a second crimp groove there. I'll take this sheep foot here. We'll find that second crimp groove, which is right there. Roll that around like that. And then I'm going to pull the paper off. There's the finished product. I don't know how well this is going to shoot. I've never done this before, but we're going to find out. And then I'll make a video of me shooting it. Hopefully I don't blow myself up. That'd be an interesting video though. But I worry about a couple of things. I worry about will be any of that paper left in the bore when I fire it. So first few rounds, I'll be checking the bore after each shot, make sure there's nothing in there left over. All right, so that's it. My first finished paper patched round. Very good. All right. Back at you later when I shoot it. Bye.